Hi everyone, it's the EnglishSimmer here, and today I thought, why don't we discuss something that I absolutely love talking about when it comes to The Sims 4, everything that is missing from it. We've had The Sims 4 for 7 years now, and what inspired this video was the fact that we did just get 2 brand new kits. For The Sims 4, we have 2 more kits to go. On their little roadmap thing, there was 4 kits coming out. So one of them is still a Create a Sim, and then one of them is a build, but we got 2 Create a Sim kits recently. I've already talked about those kits and how I feel about them and the assets included, but that got me thinking, what else do I feel is missing from Create a Sim? Not only when it comes to like actual programs in Create a Sim and like quality of life updates that I would like to see, but also assets and things of that nature, fashions that we haven't really seen in Create a Sim, because I know that I'm a storyteller and I know that I put my energy and effort into telling stories in live mode, but all of those stories start off in Create a Sim. I'm not one for like knowing all the fashions. I just wear whatever the hell I want to wear and what I personally think I look good in, but I tell so many of my stories through what my Sims look like, what they wear, the fashions that they go through, and I just think that Create a Sim is still lacking, even though we're getting all of these packs and all of these kits and all of these assets. So grab a brew, because it's time to spill the tea about everything that I think is wrong with Create a Sim. We're gonna start off with like the updates that I would like to see, quality of life features that would make my time so much easier, and we'd be able to tell so many different stories using Create a Sim. First off, I would like to give a very big shout out to Weirbizu. I never know if I'm pronouncing that modder's name right, and I do apologize. You probably know them if you use mods in your game. They are the creator of UI Cheats and also the More Columns mod. And whilst I absolutely adore More Columns mod, I do think that it should officially be part of the game. I think this personally should have been added when we got the UI scaling, because if you think about it, like that gives you a warning to say, hey, this resolution might not be the best for your screen, it could cut off. Why don't they just like add more columns, or add the option of adding more columns to Create a Sim and then giving you the same warning if it messes with your resolution? Like, take custom content out of the equation. If you have every single pack for The Sims 4, how do you play this game with only 2 columns? I get so bored of scrolling that I would just randomize every single outfit. Kind of a follow on from that one is being able to save outfits. I know I've talked about this in the past, and like being able to maybe save an outfit to like the styled outfits, because sometimes there's outfits that I use on like majority of my Sims. Like there's some pieces I really like in Create a Sim, even if there was like a favorites tab, so you could maybe like heart something in Create a Sim and then like you could shift over to your favorites and it would just choose like the items that you have favorited. And then also locking facial or head accessories and makeup. Ooh, it grinds my gears that we're 7 years into this game and we still don't have this option. Especially more recently. Like, I've always think it should have existed for makeup, because you'll spend hours like trying to get a makeup look down, and while sometimes it does carry over, like say if you set it on everyday 1 and then you go to like everyday 2, everyday 3, sometimes it carries over. I don't know if it carries over all the time. However, I would just love to lock it and then it be that same makeup for every single category as well. So say if you locked it in everyday 1 and then you went to edit like their party wear, they would still have that makeup on. You could shift the colors around if you wanted to. And then obviously more recently, we've started to see more facial accessories. We've always had earrings in the game. We've always had glasses in the game. However, we're now starting to see like facial piercings. We're starting to see eyebrow, nose piercings. And the fact that you have to go through every single category on like every single outfit and re-add those facial piercings is a nightmare. This might just be coming from me because I am a glasses wearer. I just wish that we could lock our facial accessories, and then when you do go into like sleepwear, for example, where you don't want your Sims wearing glasses, you could easily just take them off. You could just hit the X, but it would carry over instead of constantly having to opt in rather than opt out. More relationship options when it comes to creating Sims. We literally don't even have the option to make like grandmas and granddads. You actually have to like set a mum or a dad and then make their parents, and then if you take them into the game, they'll be considered grandmother or grandfather. But like, just give us the option in Create a Sim. I sometimes don't want to go through the whole rigmarole. I just want like granny living with us, and sometimes I don't want the parents living with us, or I want like an auntie. I just wish that there was more options in Create a Sim in the drop down menu for relationships. I still think it's weird that we don't even have like boyfriend and girlfriend. We have married, roommates, or siblings. Like, a little bit strange. And then on that front, obviously, I had to mention customizable pronouns. I know we always have the discussion whenever I mention representation of different pronouns in the game. I know we have the conversation about, hey, not every language uses pronouns. I understand that. Hear me out. Let's just add it for English first. I feel like if you play the game in English, we use custom pronouns and also like they them pronouns in our day-to-day lives. Let's just add them into the game, even if it is only to English. And I know that the team have said that they are looking into this, and like hopefully we can get an update on that in the future, but it wouldn't be right to make a Create a Sim video and what's missing in Create a Sim if I didn't talk about pronouns. This next one, I am gonna have to give credit to Stepho Sims, because Steph, whenever we talk, she will not fail to mention how cats have a Create a Pet tool, which basically means that you can just draw on your pet. They have a color wheel available to them, and you are also just able to add like the skin details. You're like able to spray paint onto your dog, and whilst I have seen some incredible creators use this for like following Bob Ross tutorials, it's only available on animals in cats and dogs. And I know Steph has talked about this a lot in the past. Why don't we have that option available for human actual Sims? I think it would be so cool. I think it would offer up a world of opportunity, because you could literally paint like any skin detail you want onto a Sim and like make it look realistic. You'd easily be able to represent yourself, people that you see, your friends, like honestly, it just makes sense. We don't even have full body freckles in The Sims 4. Like imagine, I know it would be time consuming, but like imagine just being able to like add moles or add bindies, for example. I know we had the talk about bindies not actually being included in the Mumbai fashion street kit. And I know I did see some comments being like, maybe they didn't include it because it is religious, but also we already have religion in the game. Like your Sims can celebrate Christmas if they want to. We have hijabs in the games. We more recently in the base game update, we got a dastar in the game. So I do feel like we have that cultural representation, and we didn't get a bindi in this kit, which I would have really loved to see as like a head nod to the cultural representation that they were going for. I don't think we're ever gonna get it. This is like an utter like pipe dream of mine. I feel like we're far too into The Sims 4 to like ever get a tool like that. But the fact that we have it for cats and dogs and we don't have it for Sims is just like salt in the wound every single time. Hey, maybe that's why I don't make cats or dogs that often. And then following on from that, again, something that is probably very unrealistic, but hey, Sims 5, if you want to include it. I know that so many people talk about hairlines. I feel like hairlines are such like a personal thing to someone. And like you can have a hairstyle and it could look completely different on someone who has a different hairline than another person. And I just feel like somehow being able to like click and drag a hairline would be so cool in the game. I feel like it would really switch Sims up. Sometimes I want to use a hairstyle, but it like makes my Sims FODs look dead big. And don't worry, I say that as a person with a 5 head. So like I very much appreciate that representation. However, just like sometimes you're just like, oh, I wish this like sat different on my Sims head. So like Sims 5, if you want to have like malleable, is that a word? Malleable? I feel like I should remember that off like Blue Peter or something. It feels like something to do with paper mache. When I was going through these kits, obviously we got 2 new henna tattoos, but I was like looking at the tattoos, and whilst I think, let me have this, okay? Please don't have my neck for this in the comment section. Whilst I do think that The Sims 4 has a much better range of tattoos than The Sims 3 did, I know in The Sims 3 you could like kind of choose your placement in a way. It kind of had like that skate vibe of like, hey, click and drag this tattoo to where you want it to be. It still wasn't like the best positioning ever, and also the tattoos weren't that great in 3. I much prefer the range of tattoos that we have in The Sims 4. Do I kind of wish that you could like click and drag those tattoos to where you want them to be placed? Yes, I think that would be a very, very cool feature. Like being able to size them up or size them down and then like drag them to wherever on the body you wanted them. I just wish that there were more of them. We actually only have like 2 full chess pieces. We got a really cool like love heart one in base game that I used all of the time because I was like, oh my god, we can finally have like really good like chest tattoos. And then we got one again in Get to Work for aliens, which was like the little zigzag ones, and we haven't seen them since. Sims 4, where are our chest tattoos, our back tattoos? And I'm meaning like full back tattoos or like across the shoulders, like swallows on the collarbones, like on the hips. I know that you can't see them all the time, and like, yeah, it would be like a fair bit of effort, especially when you don't see them all the time. I think we need more like half sleeves. I think we need like more full body coverage. Speaking of tattoos, we all know that I use custom content body hair. And speaking of tattoos, because it's in the tattoo body section, which is why you see how my brain made the connection. Don't question it. I don't know how my brain makes these connections either. Yes, we need body hair. I would like to throw it out there, if we are gonna get body hair for The Sims 4 at any point, I would like it available for both masculine and feminine frames. I always found it weird how like body hair was only accepted on masculine Sims in past Sims games. We are in the year of 2021, and I would be super disappointed if they brought body hair to the game and they were like, haha, but your feminine Sims, no. Go shave your bodies from head to toe. We don't want to see it. Female body hair does actually not exist in our perfect utopia of The Sims 4. And we all know that it is actually a perfect utopia because there's barely any consequences. Look, here comes a consequence. Also, I would like to point out, I would also like afro textured body hair if we ever get it. I'm gonna say when we get it because I'm hopeful that it will happen at some point, but again, we're 7 years down the line and we've yet to see it. Oh my god, look at all of these perfectly thought about tangents. I did actually record a video a few months ago now, back in the summer, where I was talking about masculine Create a Sim, what needs fixing in it, what I think isn't done well. So if you want to go check that out, I will link it either down below or maybe up there, who knows. How does YouTube work anymore? And I was talking about how we actually don't have any afro textured facial hair. We don't really have that many longer beards. I'd like to see an update of facial hair in general. I'd again like to be able to put it on feminine Sims and like unlock that if it's possible, but also just like longer beards, more range of like mustaches. I feel like facial hair just gets forgotten about, but the fact that we don't have like any afro textured, especially on like the longer beards, sits really weird with me because I feel like they've put in all this effort recently, but like just forgot that facial hair exists and that we don't have any Afro representation when it comes to beards and mustaches and facial hair. I know I talked about not having full body freckles, and skin details I really feel is like where the game is lacking. I know that you can, which still sounds weird to say, you can pay to have like facial scars in the game because they were actually included in Get Famous, but we don't have any in base game, so there's like no free representation of that. We also don't have just like little scars. I just think it's such a human thing and like shows that you've actually lived a life to have scars on your body, and I just think it's a bit weird that we don't have that many. So like stretch marks I think would be amazing to have in the game. Dimples, I definitely think we need to have like Maxis Match eyelashes. I hate the eyelashes. The fact that there are mods that exist that allow you to just remove like the weird waterline that we have in the game just shows that it's not that great. Full body freckles, there's a whole host of skin details that I think could be added to actually like diversify our Sims in Create a Sim. If you have any, let me know. I feel like that was a very small list, but it could go on and on, so I'm gonna stop myself there. And then just when it comes to like fashionable assets, I feel like we just need to switch it up here or there. I would really like to see more like grungy stuff, more alternative stuff, like kind of the emo phase, e-boy, e-girl, whatever you want to call it, whatever the kids are calling it these days. I just feel like there's definitely fashions that are absolutely missing from the game. Again, that could be a full list, but I don't want to focus on all of it because I will just rant for hours upon hours. That's my rant of what I think is missing in Create a Sim. Like I said, I'm fairly sure I could come up with a bunch more stuff that I feel is personally missing in the game. Do I feel like a lot of the problems that I have with Create a Sim could be solved by Steph's mysterious paint tool for Sims? Absolutely. I think we'd be able to add stretch marks. I think we'd be able to add skin details that we think are missing. I think it would be really cool. That's like the dreamer's dream though. I don't think that's ever gonna happen. We can only cross our fingers and pray to Will Wright that it will. But let me know what you all think. What do you really think is missing from Create a Sim? Whether it's fashion based, whether you think it's like certain assets, whether you think it's certain cultural representation. I absolutely want this comment section just to be like a whole list of what you think could either be fixed in Create a Sim, added to Create a Sim, that just helps you represent who you want to represent and tell the stories that you want to tell. Thank you all so much for tuning into this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it kind of got you thinking maybe about things that we don't have in the game that you haven't really thought about before. That would be cool, wouldn't it? Look at me trying to be an influencer. No, I hate myself. I'm logging off. Goodbye. It was nice to talk to you all. Hope you all are taking care of yourselves, and I will speak to you all in the next one. Bye now.